All right, here we go. It's your Tokyo Godfather speaking, Mr. Mark Antimate, the Pontiff of Japanese whiskey. Today's episode, I'm going to be doing a versus battle between these three makers. Mark, I know I like to stretch these videos out, so I'm just going to get right into it. I made an introductory video over this brand, maybe let's say about 9 months ago, and I reviewed each one individually, but I decided that I wanted to do a taste test back to back between the three to determine which one is going to be my favorite. Now, you guys are just here along for the ride. My palate is not your palate. The things that I like may not be the things that you like. This is simply a taste test just to determine out of the three which one do I like best, and I guess the so-called runner-up, because I want to know once I run out of this stuff. You can see the bottles getting near the bottom. The same for the 46 is a little bit more than the halfway mark. But once I get done drinking these things, I want to know which one do I buy again to replace it or to replenish my Maker's Mark needs. But once all three of these bottles are gone, I'm only going to buy one of them again. I just bought all three just so that I can do the taste test, and it was purely for that. I've been using these to make a lot of cocktails, as are featured inside of my two cocktail books, The Ideal Bartender and Julian's Recipes, both the centennial editions of those books. So let's go ahead and find out. The way that I have it set up on the counter, I have the Maker's Mark here, the 46 here, and this is the private selection with these hand-selected staves made by this Japanese supermarket company called Aeon. It is the biggest supermarket chain in Japan, and I guess Aeon had made their own stave collection, so this is particular to that shop. So this is the third whiskey. I'm going to put this whiskey inside the very right-hand glass, the middle bottle inside the middle glass, and my left-hand bottle inside of the left-hand glass. So it's just going to be a little pour of each one. Not trying to fill up 40 milliliters on inside of each glass and try to drink 120 milliliters tonight. That's not the way it's going to go. Just need a little bit of a taste there. Well, we're going to need a little bit more than that because that's not going to do, but all right. I could smell it already. It's smelling good. This is the only one with a screw cap here amongst the three is the standard makers, whereas the other have rubber stopper corks. Try to say that 3 times fast. All right, here we go with the 46. All right, that looks about good to me. I'm just eyeing it. Sometimes I might eye it a little bit too much or too little. And here we go with the private selection. Get these things out of the way real quick. And the private selection is the one that I drank the least out of the three. No real particular reason. Well, I guess there is a reason, but it's not anything to do with how good or how bad this one tastes. All right. It's just when I was making these cocktails that are from over 100 years ago, seeing that this is a brand that has been around for a very long time, I tried to drink it out of the original brand first before I decided to make some cocktails or do something with these newer makes of whiskey. Newer brand, so to speak. All right, so here we go. I do already have a few of my old tasting notes in front of me to help me judge things a little bit better, but it is what it is. Let's swish it around a little bit, blow those fumes off. All right. And here we go. First, I'm going to be doing I guess a nosing comparison. Let's see. Well, I guess I could tell you guys right now, as close as I thought these two were, when I did my initial reviews, I had conducted them one day apart, but now that I have them back to back, I can't tell you that they are quite different. They're different enough. I'm going to say the regular Maker's Mark is just a tad bit heavier. And it smells a lot more like wood, really sharp. And the 46 is a lot more sweeter. Smells like berried fruits. I had said initially that inside of that initial review that this one is a lot more intense than the standard Maker's Mark, but now that I'm having them side by side, I feel like I'm going to have to take that back. All right, let's do the smell test between the standard Makers and the private selection. Private selection is very weak. Amongst the three, it is the weakest. You really got to reach deep to pull a smell out of there. It's nice. It's very light. But yeah, there's not much there. There is some caramel inside of this one. Light maple. This is the private selection. So, if you want something that's more intense, go with the Maker's Mark. If you want something that's more rounded, that's not too intense but not too weak, it's just sitting right there inside the middle. You got the berried fruits inside of there. You're going to go with the 46. If you want something that's light, there is no ethanol smell to it. Light smell, light maple aroma, light vanilla, you're going to go with the private selection. Out of the three, it's either going to be the 46 or the private selection. This one is just too intense for me. It's amongst the three, it's too intense for me, the standard Maker's Mark. Private selection is easy. Yep, I'm going to go with the well-rounded one just because it's not too much, not too little. All right, now we're going to have to do the taste test. Let me go get some crackers real quick and let me go get some water so that I can cleanse out my palate after each tasting. I should have grabbed those things before getting into this, but I forgot them. Hey, what can you do? Okay, here we go. I got my water, got my crackers. Let me go ahead and open these things up. The crackers are all right, let's see. The water is to cleanse my palate, and the crackers is to reset my palate. So let's go ahead and put those off to the side. Little trick that I picked up from a friend of mine inside of the Black Bourbon Society. But anyways, let's get into this taste test. Everything is ready. First, we're going to start off with the Maker's Mark, followed up by the 46. Pretty good, one of my favorites. as an introductory whiskey to bourbon. Highly recommend the Maker's Mark as it was recommended to me. You definitely can't go wrong with it. The people that set me up with this, they set me straight. That was pretty good. That's why more than half the bottle is gone on that. Still have a little bit of that aftertaste now. Let's go ahead and put this in there. All right, here we go with the next one. The 46 is definitely a lot heavier taste performer than the regular Makers. I don't know what to say about it. It's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just I'm thinking very hard right now. The palate tastes like berried fruits, whereas the palate on this one tastes a little bit more like caramel and vanilla. It's hard to judge which one I like between the two. I like sweet things. Could be sweet fruits or could be sweet chocolate and vanilla, but yeah, that's kind of a tough one there. Ooh, that's tough. All I can say is that they're different, but do I have a favorite between the two as of right now? Really can't say. Cleanse my palate one more time, and we're going to go into this private selection with these different hand-selected staves. All right, so there's that. Final one. This one tastes more like charred oak. Barrel flavors, wood, along with heavy fruits. It's a complete departure from these other two. I should state, by the way, which staves are used inside of this. So it says 3 baked American puree, 2 seared French cuvee, 1 Maker's Mark 46, 2 roasted French mocha, 2 toasted French spice. It still tastes like a Maker's production, but it is vastly different from the other two. Is it bad? No, but for me, it's not going to be better than these first two, I'll tell you that. But it's not bad by all means. Let's go back to the beginning one more time. All right, at this point in time, I'm just going to do them back to back with maybe a quick sip of water in between. I don't want to stress this out anymore. I think I kind of got a feel for what I'm looking for. Mm. Caramel vanilla wood. Mm. Berried fruits. The strength is more intense than the regular makers. Final. Private selection. Ooh. Oh my goodness. After having these two, this one definitely isn't for me. Like I said, is it bad? No. But it is. It's it's okay, but it's just completely different. This one is too toasted, too charred, too roasted for my liking, so it's just kind of burnt, but it's still good. Between these two, man, it's a tough doubleheader, but this one might have, the 46 might have the better nosing, but the standard makers has the better palate. Maybe it has the better finish, but overall, I'm going to go with the regular maker's mark. So that's my firm decision. Once I clear out all three of these bottles, when it's time to replace at least just one of them, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy another bottle of the standard maker's mark. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. All of them. I would recommend trying all of them, but I'm glad that I've discovered my favorite amongst the three. For the longest, I was thinking it was the 46, but all it took was a taste test, was a flight of three of these to determine which one is the true winner. Because, I mean, having one after the other the very next day is completely different from having it back to back. So there's that. Anyways, gentlemen, I thank you all for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. Make sure that you guys drink responsibly. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy.
I need a shot of the good stuff. Someone call Antimate. Why did you go to the other guy's YouTube channel? Why didn't you come to mine first? We've known each other many years, but this is the first time you've come to me for counsel about drinks. I can't remember the last time you invited me to your house for a dram of whiskey. But let's be frank here. You never wanted my friendship. I understand. You found paradise on YouTube. You watched a few videos. You had a few laughs. So you didn't need to watch a channel like mine. Now you come and say, Don Antimate, give me knowledge about spirits. Give me a drink. But you don't ask with respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather. You come into my house on the day that I am to open the good stuff, and you ask for a shot. What have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectfully? If you come to me in friendship, we'd be drinking together this very day. And if by some chance an honest man like yourself made enemies, then they would become my enemies, and then they would fear you. You want to be in my favor? I'm going to ask you to do a service for me. Hit the subscribe button and accept this drink as a gift on my day of relaxation.